Here we go. 15 Void Shards. Can I finally get Cold Heart? Cold Heart is a really strong champion for Spider. And if we look at my dungeon progress here, I desperately need it. I just can't get past this. So we're going to try. Now, the funny thing is, we actually have a 2x chance of epic and legendary champions. And Cold Heart is a rare. So I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot doing this. I want a rare. And they're giving more chances of epic and legendaries, which technically means less chance of a rare, but it's still an 83% chance. We are going to get some rares here, so hopefully we do get Cold Heart. Now, if you want a Void champion of your own, in fact, a legendary support Void champion, you can type in promo code Desert Queen here once you've made a brand new account, and you'll get that legendary Void support champion, a really good one at that. And if you're going to make a new account, then scan this code above my head or click the link in the description and you'll get these 4 epic champions as you level up. It's going to be a lot better than anything I'll get in these shards probably, but we're going to see anyway. I'm really hoping for a Cold Heart here. Really hoping. We'll see if we get lucky. This is my first one. We're just going to go straight into it. And it's not a Cold Heart. Now, Void Champions are Void Champions. So, you know, they're pretty good. They're not going to fall into the whole rock, paper, scissors affinity system going on. But that's a pretty bad defense for a champ. So we're going to keep on going and hope we get something a little bit more exciting. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I just got a legendary Void support champion of my very own. Okay. I came in here hoping for Cold Heart, and we ended up getting perhaps one of the best legendary support Void champs there are. Wow. Increased ally accuracy. I was not expecting that. Anyway. We got yeah, I feel like it's quite common to see support have increased ally accuracy in battles as an aura. It's okay sometimes, but not the best. Attacks all enemies has a 50% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff. The ally with the highest critical damage also joins to attack the enemy with the lowest HP. The ally joining the attack will use their defense. Ooh, interesting. And apparently this is a good Hydra champ. A2, Fumes of the Grail, places a Poison Cloud buff, a 30% increased speed buff, and 2 15% continuous heal buffs on a target ally for 2 turns. Ooh, okay. Wow. A3, attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased debuff and a 25% weaken. Will ignore block debuffs. And then the Ascension passive increases this champion's accuracy for 10 for each buff on each enemy. Whenever an enemy receives a buff, the turn meter is decreased by 10%. Oh, okay. That's quite interesting. Yeah, I mean, nice buffer for my nuker. You know, that's pretty cool. Anyway, we continue. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, now we really do need Cold Heart. Like I said, increased chances of getting legendary. But can we now get Cold Heart? Painsmith. He seems okay. Ally attack in dungeons. Okay, great. That's going to be a good dwarf champ to put in the dwarf faction crypt maybe. Here's an epic. And we have Broadmoor. Broadmoor is good in Faction Wars Lizardman. I think I've already got a Broadmoor, actually. Interesting. All right, well, we shall continue going then. I am very much hoping for a Cold Heart. I desperately need a Cold Heart. Cagebound. Look at this guy. The Lizardman. Okay. What is this? Bound to Serve places a 25% ally protection buff. Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty low tier Void champ. We shall go on. We've got 10 left. I can't believe that I got a legendary Void champ from a shard before I got Cold Heart. That is crazy. What is this? This seems like quite a bad one. Yeah. You know when you see a rare have low ratings, they're not great. Because usually people rate rares higher than they truly are because it's a rare, right? You've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. And another retainer. Yeah, so, you know, I guess when people get a Void champion, they're going to rate it a little bit lower than normal because everyone, you know, everyone thinks, oh, it's a Void champ. It's going to be amazing. But it's not always the case, right? Look at this dude. Ifrit. So, yeah, I'm going to expect these ratings to be like, they're kind of trending downwards just because people are going to, remember, these are user reviews. People are going to rate them down simply because they're expecting more from a Void champ. I'm sure we could find use for some of these. Especially the rares for like faction crypts, Centurion, a defense champ. Now this one's got some good rating. Soul possession exchanges remaining HP levels with a target enemy, then equalizes the HP of all allies. That sounds like quite a good ascended skill on the A3. It's a 5-turn cooldown though, although he is a rare, so we could book that up and get a 4-turn cooldown. That actually seems like quite a good thing, and I'm curious where that's going to be useful. I mean, you know, if there's any like single target attacks across the game, going to be useful there. Attacks on enemy heals his champion by 15% of the damage inflicted. Ah, so a heal based on attack, and it's a defense champion. Heals his champion by 30% of their max HP and then places a 30% increased defense buff. Okay, interesting. So a pretty tanky champ here. Knights Revenant. I already have a lot of Knights Revenant, so not too fast. So we only have 5 left. Not looking good. I mean, I can't complain. I did get a legendary. And then we have Ashwalker, another Knights Revenant. This one is an attack champ. Ally speed in all battles. I'm still working on Arbiter, which obviously we want for the speed aura. I'm almost there. A1 attacks one enemy, resets the cooldown of the Devastator skill if this attack kills an enemy. That is the A2, I assume. Attacks one enemy has a 65% chance of a stun debuff and decreases the turn meters of all enemies by 10% if this attack is critical. Stun on the A2 and a weaken debuff on the A3. Okay. And a lot of books, like level 7 here. Yeah, you can book him up, and he's probably going to be quite good. He looks like anonymous. Kind of gives me that vibe. All right, we continue. We have a few more. We might get a Cold Heart. If not, I'm not going to play. I already know about Oxman. I got like 5 of him. He's just not very good. I like attacking faction crypts though, so maybe you can get away with being in my barbarian team. But unlikely, Mr. Ox. All right, 4 left. And we get a Cold Heart. It's so crazy. I mean, you know, like I say, I will make use of the legendary support champ. I'm sure I can. A Veil buff on all allies except this champion? Really? A HP banner? Probably pretty good for Faction Wars. That's quite surprising. Where's the Faction Wars rating? Am I blind? Faction Wars 3.9 rating. Interesting. Not many ratings on this character though. 60% increased debuff on this, increased defense buff on this champion, and grants an extra turn. Okay, A1, 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn if the target's HP is lower than this champion's. I mean, it seems all right. I need some more Banner Lords, so I'm not going to complain. 3 more to go. Oh boy. Cold Heart? Nope. Aragon, look at this guy. Dark Elves. I need Dark Elves so badly. What is this? Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction and 50% decrease attack for 2 turns. That's not bad. A1, 1 enemy, 50% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 10%. I wish that the book here would increase the turn meter, but I'm not going to complain. Unkillable buff and 25% increased attack buff on a target ally for 2 turns. I mean, this seems like quite good. And I have almost no Dark Elves, so I'm happy about that. Okay, onwards. Another Painsmith. I feel like there is a certain drop rate. Like, you get a lot of Painsmiths and a lot of Oxes. I feel like Cold Heart's drop rate's got to be pretty low. I swear Cold Heart's drop rate is actually lower than Legendaries. It feels like that. And we didn't get him this time. Didn't get her this time. Amaranthine Skeleton, though. Undead Hordes. Once again, nice champ for me to build up. What is this? Attacks 1 enemy, places a 30% increased debuff. Defense debuff. Block. Places a block buff, debuff. And attacks 1 enemy. 80% chance of placing block active skills debuff. Ooh. And 80% chance of placing a 50% heal reduction. That seems pretty good. I mean, overall, I can't complain. I just literally came out of this with something that I was not expecting. We got a legendary support champion and a very highly rated one at that. Look at all, I've been really lucky recently. What am I to do? I mean, build up my faction crypts, I guess. Have you got Cold Heart yet? Did you get lucky? Did you not get lucky? Let me know how your Void Shard pulls went, and I'll see you in the comments.